Hey, Saltwater Fishing University, so let's say you're gonna buy a sport fishing boat, but you're thinking to yourself, what do I need to be prepared for?
A lot.
A lot, that's right, a lot. And in fact, we're gonna talk exactly what you need to be prepared for in this video. So, your first big expense when you're gonna own a sport fishing boat is buying the boat.
That's right.
And that alone is a big expense. Obviously, you've looked online. I mean, you're probably, in most situations, you're probably looking anywhere between $250,000 on up. I mean, and it just goes, it's unlimited. Could you find something less than that? Absolutely. But these days, the market how it is, something that's pretty decent, you're probably gonna be $250,000 or higher,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
But then you gotta be prepared because you're gonna have other expenses. We got a great boat and we've still had a ton of expenses. Everybody does. So we want you to get a sense for those. So where do you want to start, Ron?
Well, I'm going to kind of go into the order of things we had, the way that we had them done.
Oh, I like it.
So the first thing is we had a little soft spot in the cockpit floor.
We did have a soft spot. We noticed it the first time we came on the boat.
Yeah.
We said, oh, that's one thing we're going to have to fix.
That's right. And we thought it was going to be pretty pricey to get it fixed, but it worked out. It was a small spot. It wasn't as bad as we anticipated. So it happened right over here in the corner there, and roughly $2,500.
$2,500. Okay, so that was one expense that we had, but we got the floor, the cockpit floor, how we wanted it. That was really important. Okay, so let's keep moving, Professor.
Yeah. So of course, one of the next things we had to do is we had to put the Speechless name on the boat.
Gotta change the name.
Gotta change the
name. It didn't ever feel like it was quite ours until we got Speechless on the boat.
That's right. And that was roughly $1,200-$1,300.
$1,200 had to be just right. Professor was out there with our
Tape
lettering
measure.
person. Yeah. And Shannon Matthews did that. She did a great job. But we got it on the back. We've got it now on the sides as well because it's a commercial vessel. But that was a cool day. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, so there's a bunch of other things that we needed, like safety equipment and stuff like that. Like we needed a light bar because you have to be able to navigate at nighttime. And,
especially going out of Oregon Inlet.
That's right.
My gracious.
And electronics, you know, they help you a great deal, but there's nothing like being able to see with your own eyes.
Yes.
So the light bar was $350.
$350 for a light bar.
Yep.
Not as bad as we thought it was going to be.
No.
And that thing works great.
Works
LED
great.
lights, unbelievable.
And it's just an Amazon light bar.
Yeah,
Nothing special about it.
Yeah, nothing special, but it works.
So of course we had a EPIRB.
Yep. Yep. Safety equipment in general. We had to make sure we had all of that stuff.
Yep, the life raft, life jackets, flares, you know, just a bunch of the throwable life ring. I mean, first aid kit. It was a pile of stuff.
Yeah, you figure just all that stuff there, you're probably at least $4,000. We got the life raft used. It wasn't old at all, but it was still used, so we got a decent break on it.
Yeah.
So that was good. Notwithstanding, $4,000 or $5,000 easy for your general safety equipment. Sure, you might get a vessel that's already got that on there, but ours didn't have it on there yet, at least not to the standards that we needed it. And again, everybody's going to be different on this. Keep that in mind as we're discussing this. With that being said, we want to give you a sense, if you're going to make a massive purchase, we're learning as we go, and we did a ton of research beforehand, and we're both boat owners, but we haven't owned a sport fishing boat. There's a difference between the two. It's like, you know, it's going up to the big leagues.
That's right.
In a lot of ways. And so we continue to learn. Okay, so let's continue with those expenses, surprises, etc.
All kinds of surprises. So of course, when you have a boat like this, you have to have a dock box.
Gotta have a dock box.
You know what I mean? Just to put all your cleaning supplies and stuff like that.
We went with the big one.
We did.
Why?
Because we go big.
We go big or go home. It's Texas from Virginia. With that being said, we wanted to be able to fit our rods in there if we wanted to.
Or
didn't want to look back and say that was too small, regret it.
The boat brushes with the long handle, stuff like that. Anything, you know.
And man, our logo looks sweet on there. I gotta say, Professor.
It does.
She looks bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the dock box. That was about $1,500 right there. All right, let's keep going.
Okay, so we want to add side scan to this boat.
Yes, we do.
Right?
Why do we have to add side scan?
Well, you can miss a school of fish by 100 feet and not catch them.
Right next to you. We're going to have paying customers. We want to give them the greatest opportunity to catch. And heck, we just are obsessed with catching ourselves. So we want to catch too. So with that being said, side scan. We've got to do some stuff though to get our boat ready for that.
Right. Our Garmin screens did not have the module built in inside to accept the side scan. So this is one of those things where we could have spent $1,200 to get by with what we had or what we needed, or we could have spent $6,000 to get a screen that had the module built in and add another 16-inch screen to our dash.
And of course, what do we choose?
The 16-inch screen.
Go big or go home.
And we're getting that through Charlie Biblical Marine Electronic, Marine Installations, and here in Reeville, and he's gonna hook all that stuff up for us, the transducers and all that.
She'll be ready to catch loads of fish when we bring it back down to Nags Head, North Carolina. Okay, let's keep going.
All right, so our next and most prominent expense was all of our mechanical issues.
Big expenses here.
Yeah, so with a boat like this, you have maintenance, regular routine maintenance that you have to perform every year, like changing the oil every 200 hours. It's a good idea to change your impellers every year. It's just a list of things that you have to do. But we are new to this boat, and we wanted to make sure that everything was in tip-top shape. So when we go down and go fishing this year, we have confidence and know that we're not, putting Band-Aids on things or anything like that.
Don't want to have a customers make a trip, that one opportunity where they spend a lot of money for them, and then something mechanical happens.
That's right.
If it does happen, we want to feel like we've done everything we can to prevent it.
Yeah, we're going to try to do everything, due diligence, to prevent any mechanical breakdown. So the first thing we had to do was we had to have our valves adjusted on our motors. And that's kind of a maintenance thing that you have to do every 1,000 hours. And ours had not been done for the life of them.
The cost of that, do you remember what it was?
It was about $2,500 bucks.
All
But
right.
he also did some other work for that $2,500 bucks, which every motor has 13 zincs on it. Changed every one of those zincs in the saltwater cooling side.
For the electrolysis element too.
That's right.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, and that also included a full service, which changing all the oil in both engines, in the generator, changing all the fuel filters, changing all the transmission fluid. I mean everything. A complete, maintenance.
In the name of our mechanic who we just love,
Chris Diggs Diesel.
Diggs Diesel. If you're in that Tidewater, Northern Neck area of Virginia, absolutely, highly recommend them.
Yeah.
We haven't met that mechanic yet in Nags Head. I'm sure we're gonna have to meet that person because the boat's gonna be there way more than it is here. Nonetheless, we've got a great one in this area with Chris Diggs. All right.
So with that being said, he noticed a bunch of other things that we had coming up on the list that we were going to need to be replaced. The number one item was the aftercoolers. You could see where they made the seal, they were starting to leak. He expressed his feelings to me that it was going to do nothing but get worse. It was a, kind of a ticking time bomb that could last 6 months, could last a year, but in our eyes, we're not taking a chance on it. So the aftercoolers alone were about $4,500 a piece.
Yep.
For each engine. We had to have 2 of those.
Plus shipping.
Plus shipping, yeah. So along with that, we had some exhaust leaks that were putting some smut in the engine room and stuff like that. Just needs to be taken care of. Along with that too, our injectors were all fouled up. So we pulled all of our injectors out and sent them off to have them rebuilt. And so
all this together, when you talk about those major things, it's about $25,000.
That's exactly right. And that was an expense that we knew we were going to have some of that expense, but not to that extent.
We did not plan it for that. Now, keep in mind, you might be watching this saying, well, did you get an inspection, dummies? Yeah, we did. We got a thorough inspection.
Yeah.
And the boat is running fine.
And it was running fine when we bought it. But
that's right.
These are things that have to be done.
And so you can say, am I going to wait till it breaks, or am I going to be proactive?
That's right.
And get in front of it.
That's right.
I'd rather not be reactive.
That's right.
I'd rather be proactive.
Yeah.
That's our mindset. And again, we're thinking long term with everything we do, with the boat, with the community, with Speechless.
That's right.
And so that's why we did that. Okay, so $25,000, and let's keep going because we're surely not done.
No. So every year with a boat like this, it has to be hauled out. And we're going to be going right over in about a month. We're going to be going to Jennings Railway And the travel lift's gonna pick the boat up. We're going to get the bottom painted. And Charlie's also going to put the new transducers on the bottom when that happens. And we'll need to look at the props, see if they need to be sent off and touched up some. But Larry over there at Jenny's Boat Yard, he's an amazing guy, talented as he can be. He's a custom boat builder, and I highly recommend any work, that you need in the marine industry, to Jenny's Railway. He's also the one that fixed
he did our floor,
cockpit
did a
floor.
great job.
Yeah.
But to get that taken out, to get it painted, what are we going to spend? Another at least $2,500.
At least,
yeah,
easily.
at least that. Probably more than that. I don't know. It's going to be a few $1,000s.
Yeah, and we're having all this expense because this is a new boat to us.
Yes.
We're trying to get it like we want it. You know what I mean? And have our peace of mind knowing that we have confidence in this boat. And that means a lot. When you're confident in something, when you've taken all the steps and done all the due diligence to make sure that you feel comfortable going out hundreds of miles in the ocean in this boat.
That's exactly right. And we have replaced some of the other equipment too. For example, toilet we've replaced.
Yeah,
That was, I think,
needed a new toilet.
$1,200 for the new toilet.
And that was one of those things where it needed a new pump and the pump was discontinued. We had a hard time trying to find it. We could have put in an auxiliary pump in another location and put a Band-Aid on it, but we just got a new toilet.
Again, do it right the first time.
That's
do it
right.
right the first time.
Yeah.
So we're busy doing it right the first time. Any other major expenses we've had, Professor?
Well, and you can approach this many different ways, but you got to have a place to keep a boat like this.
We do.
Yeah.
You can't just float it for free.
That's right. And here at this marina at Buzzard Point in Reeville, you rent a slip by the month, and they charge you a power bill and everything like that. But where we are in Pirates Cove,
Different game.
different game.
Different marina, different area.
Yep.
So we're only about a few $100s a month here. I think it's about $300 a month is what we pay
Yep.
here. Whereas if we were renting a slip down at Pirates Cove in Nag's Head, Manio area, you're probably looking more like in the $1,500 a month range.
Depending on which marina you're at, but a boat like this is going to be $1,000 to $1,200 at Pirates Cove. You pay by the month and rent a slip.
Yeah, so in our case, we said, you know what? We can dump money like that away each month, or we can just buy a slip.
Yep, and we got a deal on the slip, and we were both happy about it. We own a piece of waterfront in Manio right now.
That we do.
Yeah.
That we do, but at least we will, in about 5 years, have completely paid for it with what we would have spent in rentals.
That's right.
So that was the decision that we made for that.
Right.
Yeah. This list is always going to grow. That's the thing about owning a boat. We understand that, but also what's going to grow is our list of memories, of amazing opportunities, of experiences that we're going to have with people like you, because many of you that are watching this right now, we know you're going to go on trips with us. We're going to have great experiences together. Ultimately, that's why we're doing this. We're taking it very, very seriously, because we want to have such an exceptional experience all the way around. Any closing thoughts, Professor, on this?
Man, really enjoying the whole process because you get to learn a boat like this.
Mhm.
When you're working on it like we have been, and you learn the craftsmanship that goes into it, what it really takes to maintain and operate a boat like this. I mean, to me, it's fun,
It is a lot of fun. It's a great experience. Again, thank you for being a part of the community. Please like the video. That makes a big difference with YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't. Tell your friends about it. Come out and see us when we're in North Carolina. We'll be there from April through October. We'll be there January as well for bluefin season. Slip number 92 at Pirates Cove Marina. Can't wait to see you there. Maybe have some lunch together sometime. Maybe go fishing together sometime. As always, my friends, stay salty.